Hi everyone, and welcome to another NGWA Industry Connected video. Today I'm with Chip Nelson, Director of Sales for GEFCO / BAUER Equipment America in Conroe, Texas. Welcome, Chip. Thanks for your time today.
Hey, thank you. Glad to be here.
You bet. So let's begin with the BAUER Equipment America acquisition of GEFCO in August 2020 and the company's move from Enid, Oklahoma to Conroe, Texas. How's the transition been, and is there anything you want the viewers to know?
You bet. The transition was in October when we actually were officially in Conroe, and we definitely had some surprises. We had some challenges that we didn't perceive that were going to be there, and we're working through those. We've had a lot of customers down here that are seeing what we're doing and seeing the parts on the shelf and seeing the factory producing drills. So at the very beginning, we definitely had some painful days, but it has come around and we're starting to fire on all cylinders now. So we're pretty excited about how things are progressing now.
Great to hear. And how does BAUER Equipment America view the water well and geothermal market right now, both in the United States and globally?
Right now, BAUER Equipment America, of course, is the North American part, or the United States and Canada part of BAUER out of Germany. And they support the BAUER equipment, and BAUER in Germany owns a company in Germany that builds water well machines called Procla. And they wanted to get more involved in the water well industry globally. That's what led them to purchasing GEFCO. With the GEFCO product line, it's going to open up more markets to them globally, more product models, and but our focus currently is really just the U.S. market right now, U.S. and Canada. That's where our focus is, and then in a year, 2 years, 3 years, then you'll see us really taking this product globally again. When we do it globally, it won't be handled through BAUER Equipment America. We will manufacture the product here in the U.S., but it will be, the international sales will go through BAUER in Germany. We want to focus on time zones, and we have 110 facilities worldwide. And so depending on where that customer is and what time zone, the group that lives in that time zone will take care of that customer.
Okay, good to know. And switching to supply chain issues, where there's been some issues felt in parts of the country, how has that impacted BAUER's parts department in responding to customer requests?
It's definitely affected it. I think a lot of the drill rig manufacturers right now are having challenges with trucks, getting trucks in on the scheduled times that we had set out. A lot of the trucks are sliding out, so you're losing a week, 2 weeks, three weeks of production time waiting on trucks now. But overall, other components, steel prices going up, it's definitely affecting the market. Been traveling every week basically, and customers are talking about casing prices going up. So the groundwater market's definitely getting affected by the economy right now. I mean, guys are busy, but prices on materials and equipment are definitely going up.
Mm-hmm. And looking at product enhancements, what can you tell us about your current product line, and are there any new products in the works or enhancements in the works?
Okay. On new products, yes. BAUER has put a pretty lofty goal out to our manufacturing and engineering department looking at new products. We're working with engineering groups in Germany, looking at that Procla product and how we can maybe use some of it on GEFCO product, and how GEFCO product could help the Procla side as well. The development right now, we are building new products, coming out with new ideas. We will have a new product at the national show. I don't want to talk a lot about it because we want it to somewhat be a surprise, but we do plan on having a brand new machine at the national show. And probably for the next 4 to 5 years, every year at the national show, you're going to see another brand new product from GEFCO. So we're definitely very motivated and not sitting back on our heels. We're going to change a lot of things on our product line with new products and with existing products.
Oh, looking forward to that at the show. Yeah, this year, and GEFCO celebrating its 90th anniversary this year as well at the show.
Correct.
So
Correct.
yeah. In 2017, your 30K went from hydraulic to electric controls. What are the most common questions you're getting with electronic controls, and what do contractors need to know in making the switch to electronic?
You bet. We're still building our full hydraulic drills, 30K, 50K being the two main ones. And then we've gone to electronic controls on our 40K and on our 90K. The 30K and 40K line up side to side, basically the same machine frame. Both of them are 40,000 hoist capacity machine, 25,000 pound main winch. The main difference is controls. Instead of being straight hydraulic, we've got electric over hydraulic controls. We went to that because we had so many customers saying, hey, we would prefer you to run electronic control because it allows us to do things with rotational torque, with weight on bit, with hold back, that we can't do as fine of adjustment on with straight hydraulics. The electronic controls give us the benefit of doing things that we can't do with a straight hydraulic machine. One thing we're doing on that is we can do remote access on those machines. So we're putting a 503 system on there, which is more or less a cell connection. And our service guys can dial into that rig and they can look at anything that's going on it. They can make adjustments to the rig. So if we're sending a service guy to a location to do something on a rig, before he gets there, he knows what the issue is. We know we have the right parts on the truck and we can resolve the issue quickly. And so that's really the big benefits in that, besides several other things that we've done where we can increase some travel speeds and stuff with electronic controls that we can't do with standard. But right now, it's about a 50-50 mix. We still have a lot of guys that are saying, no, we ran that machine for 20 plus years. We know how to fix it. We have the parts on the shelf. We like it. So they're staying in that. The electronic rigs are a lot of new customers are buying electronic rig. Some of our existing customers are buying that rig. It's really customer preference. And but it's probably a 50-50 mix for us right now. When we first came out with it, a lot of customers said, we'll never buy electronic rig. And a lot of those customers that said that are currently running multiple electronic rigs from GEFCO now. So once they got out, saw the machine and saw some of the benefits of it, they changed their mind and bought those units. So.
And what would you say are some tidbits for guys who are who want to make that switch to electronic? What kind of tidbits of advice would you have for them?
It's a lot on the driller. Some drillers have told us with a hydraulic machine, they can feel what the drill is doing better than they can with electronic control. Some electronic guys that have been running electric rigs for a long time say there's no difference. So that's one point between drillers that we hear a lot, is being able to feel what the rig is doing. A lot of guys are concerned about weather, about power washing, that type of stuff. Today's electronic controls, at GEFCO, we tried electronic controls back in the late 90s and we had very, very poor success with it. Actually took those machines, took them back to hydraulic controls. The machines we're doing now it's proven electronic controls, proven technology, and we're having great success with them. They're controls that have been used in the HDD market, the trenching market, things that have been exposed to weather and power washing and stuff for years with success. So the stuff that we're using on the back of the rig, we have the highest confidence in that it's going to work.
That's great. Great. And then what's been the customer response to manual grease banks being standard on nearly all of your company's rigs?
That's been really popular. Guys like them because they can stand on the ground and grease 95% of the rig. They're not having to climb the derrick and things like that to get that task done. So it's been beneficial. It's a great for maintenance because it makes it easy, and whatever's easy people will do. But it's also a safety concern there too if you have to have a guy climbing the derrick to grease the crown or something. So there's multiple pluses there.
And so it's on nearly all rigs, is that right? Or would
All of our top head drive equipment. It's not on our table drive. We could do that on a table drive rig, but we haven't yet. To the most, we've done a couple crown blocks on some table drive rigs, but it's not standard on there where it is on the top head drives.
Gotcha. And as our industry was deemed an essential service, the water well industry, what have you learned, what have you heard most from water well contractors in 2020 and thus far in 2021, besides being busy with work to do?
Yeah, that was amazing how busy contractors stayed through that. And so many people moving out of the cities, moving rural, which was great for us and great for the industry. It was difficult for us on the sales side because myself and my sales team, we spend most of our time on the road in front of customers on locations in their offices and building relationships. And it's hard to do that over a Zoom call or over a email and stuff. So it was amazing when we got back out on the road, and we really got back out on the road in October of last year is when we kind of management said, hey, you guys get back out on the road. And it was nice, and customers were excited to see somebody in their office and stuff. So it went well. It was difficult there for a few months getting hotel rooms and restaurants and that type of stuff. But nationwide now, I've been East Coast, West Coast. It's pretty easy traveling again now, where it was somewhat difficult. But that was the big thing, was that face to face with customers, getting service guys. Some states were shut down and you couldn't travel to, so you couldn't get a service guy in there. So getting customers taken care of on the service side, getting face to face when a customer's wanting to buy a drill. We bought a lot of plane tickets for guys to come to Conroe because we couldn't fly into their state without taking 14 days. So yeah, it was challenging, but we got through it, and hopefully that's something we never face again. So
Yeah, absolutely. And just lastly, what have you personally learned about conducting business during the pandemic? You mentioned it a little bit already, but have there been any specific resources that have helped you through the early stages of the pandemic?
IT guys teaching me how to do these type of conferences that we're doing here. I live kind of in a rural area, so my internet at my house was not the best, and I had to upgrade my internet. So because I was doing so many of these daily, and then with school kids being home and everybody working out of their houses, that bandwidth was getting eaten up, and you'd be in the middle of a thing and your laptop would flash and you'd get disconnected. So having to upgrade my internet at the house was one of the major things, and learning this technology. I'm still an old school guy, and some people make fun of me because I'm not super on the computer, and I'll be the first one to say that I am not a computer guy. But I've learned to use technology more in the last year than I probably ever have in the past. So I actually had to switch to an iPhone, and switching from a Droid to an iPhone was quite painful for me, but I'm finally part of the Apple world now. So
I understand your pain. I had to go through that switch as well. So
yes.
Well, this has been great, Chip. Thanks again for your time and information today. Really appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you, and thank you for everything that NGWA does for this industry. You're a great group of people.